satisfying. Ready for it. Forgot my intro. Hey, good looking. Welcome back to my channel. I got other things here. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you're new here, I'm Kendra Morgan Official, and I put out content weekly centered around makeup brushes that aren't Morphe, single eyeshadows, and sunscreen. So if you like that kind of content, subscribe to my channel and let's get started. I have for you guys a dupe palette, the Raw Beauty Kristi by Colourpop palette dupe using some singles. One side of my face is the singles and one side of my face is the Raw Beauty Kristi side. Can you guess which one? I had lashes on and I took them off, so there's probably like some chunks of black glue on there, but try to ignore when you assess the situation. Before we get into which side is which, let's get into some swatches. Take a look. Okay, so I thought I would give you guys some up close and personal swatches. So here is the Raw Beauty Kristi palette, and then here is the dupe palette that I've made. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot those aside so I can get swatches in here. And I will probably just go through, you know, from top to bottom, left to right, from Raw Beauty Kristi, and just show you guys the dupe shades, okay? So that's how we'll do. So the first shade is Puffball. I don't get to do this very often. Okay, that's Puffball, and duping that is Makeup Geek's Tan Lines. Okay. There's the dupe. I will say that the Raw Beauty Kristi palette's formula is phenomenal, and it was very difficult to beat that. So Chanterelle is going to be duped by Early Bird, Makeup Geek's Early Bird. Just kind of give a couple swirls here. Here's Chanterelle, hopefully that, and then here's Early Bird. I couldn't get anything more marigold looking. Everything that I have leans more orange. So this is definitely a very unique shade. Let me just go ahead and build this up. Sometimes mattes are kind of that way. They're meant to be built, in my opinion. So that's those two colors. That's about as close as I could get. Again, Makeup Geek Early Bird. Okay, the Raw Beauty Kristi palette has Rainier as the color, and I found Sidekick by Makeup Geek to be a close dupe. So there's Rainier, and that is Sidekick. This one's definitely a lot more burnt. This one's on the more brown side, but about as close as I could get. And I'm doing these swatches. I haven't done the look yet, so I will be interested to see if I can get something that, you know, looks different to the naked eye. Okay, so Old Growth is getting duped, is getting duped by Coastal Scents Paprika. So here is Old Growth, and here is Paprika. Thought I did pretty good on that department. I actually was surprised to see that I don't have very many salmon shades in my collection. I guess because I've bought a lot of palettes with these shades in them, I just never buy them as singles. But that is Paprika by Coastal Scents duping Colourpop's Rainier. When you have duochromes or shadows like these, I feel like this is a chance for you to put your own spin on things. I'm trying to give you as close of a dupe as possible, but later on in the video, I will show you guys some excellent, you know, one-ups, if you will. I like to call them one-ups. So here is the Raw Beauty Kristi Colourpop Evergreen. And then this is, believe it or not, Coastal Scents Dark Goldenrod. And I actually think that goes really, really nicely with the theme, you know, kind of that woodsy forest theme. It does have a soft duochrome, just like the Evergreen shade does, and it is green, except for this is more of a gold green. This is almost a silvery green, and they're both under an orangey warm base, I would say. So I thought that kind of went really, really nicely, but I show you guys a couple of other alternatives that I found that I thought were really great ideas for duping. Makeup Geek's Untamed is going to dupe Colourpop's West Coast. And that is the Colourpop, and here is the Makeup Geek. I feel like this is just a really solid gold, marigold shimmer, and that a lot of people will have them in their collection. So I chose Makeup Geek. I want their time to shine. Next we have Homegrown in the Colourpop palette with Raw Beauty Kristi, and I used Coastal Scents Chocolatier. These are just a really nice brown shade. Here is the, oopsie, that was the Raw Beauty Kristi palette, and here is the Coastal Scents. It's just not quite as pigmented. You can see it's probably a little bit more on the patchy side when it goes on. This is just insane pigmentation from this Colourpop palette. I just can't get over it. I don't think I've seen anything like that in a long time that has just, you know, really got that kind of pigment. The formula in the palettes has been phenomenal. I cannot say the same thing about the singles. I have not found that to be true. Their formula for singles is just leaves a lot to be desired. So Coastal Scents Maroon Berry is going to dupe Amanita in the Raw Beauty Kristi palette. So let's do the Amanita swatch and the Maroon Berry. Yeah, it just leaves quite a bit to be desired. These are some really, that's a purple, so as you can see, that Colourpop is just phenomenal performance for pigment. Really great job. Okay, we're down to the last row. So we've got Fiddlehead, and Sydney Grace's Bravo is going to dupe that. So here is Fiddlehead swatch, and here is Bravo. Both gave great, excellent pigmentation. Sydney Grace is probably a preferred formula over this Colourpop, but they're both really good formulas. Just really, really good. Coastal Scents Pinehurst is going to dupe the Raw Beauty Kristi Emerald City. And here's the swatch again. Raw Beauty Kristi Emerald City, and this is Coastal Scents Pinehurst. Again, Colourpop blowing Coastal Scents out of the water here. Nonetheless, I mean, we build it up just a little bit, maybe. Not really. This is definitely a lot darker. It's more of a pine color. This is more of a true green, I would say. But that's the dupe that I have for Emerald City. Okay, so PNW, Pacific Northwest, in the Colourpop palette gets duped by Sydney Grace's Thrilled. I'm not giving up on this shadow yet. This appeared in my Pistachio BH Cosmetics Pistachio palette dupe, and it's going to appear in this dupe as well. So here is the Raw Beauty Kristi, and here is the Sydney Grace Thrilled. Both yield an excellent, excellent. Again, Sydney Grace beats out Colourpop, but both hold up really well, and they're, to me, almost undetectable differences there. I can't really see any difference from either one. This one might lean a little bit more, I don't know. I can't really see any difference. This one might be just a slight bit greener maybe, and this one be a slight bit more halfway between the green and blue on that teal scale. Other than that, I can't really tell the difference. I think that's a pretty good dupe. Okay, the last shade I have to dupe is from Shop Miss A's A20 line in the shade Midnight. And this is black with blue sparkles. And it's going to dupe Let It Rain. I don't have any black with like a gold red sparkle to it, so I just went ahead and put my own twist on it and put the blue sparkles. So here's the Raw Beauty Kristi one. And here's the Shop Miss A. Oh yeah. Quite a bit substantially drier, and it almost feels like it's got like a tackier formula, and not in a good way. This is definitely like blendable. This feels like it might stick and not blend out as easily. Okay, so now we've seen some up close and personal swatches. Let's get into this tutorial to see if my single eyeshadows can dupe the Raw Beauty Kristi palette. Take a look. Okay, so if you guys notice any difference today, it is because I'm filming on my Thought I Would Do. Satisfying. Ready for it. And it's going straight in the trash too. Thought I Would Do. Left eye is the Dupe palette. Right eye will be Raw Beauty Kristi palette. Okay. That's it. So 4 for each side. So then I'm going to have this set over here, this set over here. I want to buff some Old Growth and its equivalent, Paprika, on each side. Coastal Scents Paprika. So let's start with the Old Growth. I hope you guys can see okay. Do I look squared up? It'll be all right. I actually don't have a viewfinder. I'm just using a mirror behind me. So that's okay. Ooh, this just, so I won this in a giveaway. I will link her channel up here in the eye and down below, but it's the movie and makeup channel. I've been supporting her channel for a few months now, and I won a giveaway. She gave me this palette that I won in the giveaway, and I was so excited. So thank you so much, Makeup and Movie channel, for supporting this portion of this video and making this possible, because you guys know I just do the dupe palettes because most of the time I fall in love with a palette or its color story and I just dupe the color story. Okay, that went on like a dream. Let's see how the Paprika does. And I'm using the Refer 15. Oh wow, okay, this went on really nicely as well. I mean, it's going on really nicely. Color wise, I don't see too much difference. Okay, wow, that just kind of blended itself. Let me add just a little bit more right in there. I hope it's not the brush differences. I feel like these are both really good brushes. I use this one and I use this one a lot, so I think that they're really good brushes. So, okay, it's a little bit more orange than this one's like a true salmon. This one's going on just a bit, I wouldn't say patchier, but concentrated. Concentrated. All right, perfect. Let's not get carried away, Kendra. So we're gonna use PNW from the Raw Beauty Kristi palette. Let's 217 it. It's tarnishing, boys and girls. It's tarnishing. Do you see that? Look at that. Would you just look at it? Leave me a comment down below on how I should care for this brush properly. I know it's a nickel-plated brass, but what could I be doing wrong with it? Is it too moist in here? Ooh, looking beautiful. I think when I work with the colors like this, not in like a saturated tone or a packing manner, I think I do a lot better. And I think honestly from the last video, from the pistachio, I didn't have my wits, meaning I didn't have my brushes. Like when I don't use the brushes that I set out to use, I think that honestly kind of not jinxes me, but it really like plays on me a little bit. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to do all of a sudden. Okay, so I'm just gonna feather this up just ever so slightly into the crease. Blend it out beautifully. Yeah, I think I'm just not a packing type of girl. I think I just gotta, ooh, should we do a halo eye? Kind of makes almost like a little bit of a purple because that salmon pink and that bluish teal color. It's not really a true blue and it's not a true green. And that's how you know you have a good shadow, because you can't like describe the color very well at all. I don't know, that's how I go with Ooh, so beautiful. Back out with that previous brush and just kind of blend up. No additional product, just what's left over. And just kind of come into that corner of the eye and just kind of blend out a little bit. Oh, wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. I'm just going to say it right now. I can't dupe the Raw Beauty Kristi palette. I don't know if her formula is the same as regular Colourpop palettes. I don't know if... So from my experience, the Colourpop singles are horrible. I don't like them, particularly the shimmers. And I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of the shimmers in this palette. There's only 2 to go off of. But I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're okay. They're better than what I have in my singles. My singles, I can't hardly use them to put together a palette because it's almost like there's just not enough pigment there. And so like when you swatch it, it's like patchy and transparent. Now let's use this MAC brush. Is doing the same thing. My goodness, why is it tarnishing like that? Or is it tarnishing? I don't know. Maybe I should be putting something on it. Maybe I used something I shouldn't have used to wash it. Just let me know how I should be washing my brushes down below, because I don't want to continue on this path of this stuff. So for right now, I'll just use my Sephora brush cleaner to clean them, but let's use the Sydney Grace Thrilled shade. Okay, let's do that. It's just so super saturated with color. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's gorgeous. Okay, so right off the bat, this is way darker. It's way more pigmented. I think I should have went in with a lighter hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is blending out like a dream. So it must just be that I can't pack color. In my pistachio palette, I'll link it in the eye down below, but I just had so much problems with it going really patchy on me, and I think it's just because I don't normally like pack. This is how I do things. I kind of blend them onto the lid. That's how I am. I'm neutral with a pop of color. This is my pop of color. And it's a subtle pop of color. Okay, so very pretty. I'm losing a little bit of that. I just can't pack. That's just not who I am. This, once it's blended out, does look very similar to this. This is a little titch more like teal green. This is a little bit more blue. Sydney Grace is a little harder to blend out as far as that goes because it's just so pigmented. The next shade I want to use is the Evergreen shade from the palette. It is a duochrome shade. I want to see how close I got. So picking up the product and spritzing with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, just because it is a little bit chunkier. Let me apply to the eyelids. Oh, it's pretty. And it's giving more of a green reflect because in here, remember I blended over. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of patchiness. Do you guys see that? Let's just pretend like it's not really there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I didn't have it from the Raw Beauty Kristi. Okay. All right, look at that, guys. This right here, dreamy. Dreamy, dreamy, dreamy. I'm gonna put together like a little short video on the 5 duochromes you need to own in your life. But spoiler alert, this is one of them. It is Dark Goldenrod by Coastal Scents. Now, when I say it's a duochrome, it's a soft duochrome. It's not like this Raw Beauty Kristi where you can tell. Ooh, very pretty. Oh, and it's going on lovely green just like the other one. Yay! I think that's a wonderful dupe. Now, I can see the difference. This is more of like a yellow green. This is more of like a blue green, if that's a problem for you. To be 100%, I don't know why I do that. Next brush over here. Okay, to be 100% honest, I like this color just a little, like just a smidge better because I like a more yellow green for my eye, not a blue green, because my eyes are blue. So having a little bit of a, oh, it dusted right away. Perfect. Having a little bit more of this color makes this pop. That's just something I've noticed, but they're both very pretty. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to put on some mascara and some just tight line. That's it. Nothing crazy. Oh, and I'll be right back. Got the lashes and liner on. And I thought I would do just a little bit more. Well, let's use Fiddlehead and then blend it out with maybe like Puffball or no, I thought about doing this as the liner down below and then blending out with Fiddlehead. Yeah, let's do that. It didn't have it all squared away. So this is actually going to be the dupe. I'm going in with Chocolatier from Coastal Scents. And remember, I've only got like 4 brushes out here, so. Oh, these lashes. Then let me blend out with that green Fiddlehead shade, which is Bravo by Sydney Grace. Let's start on the outside and work my way in. Maybe. I do need to have my mirror. I used to always wonder, like, why was this always dark? Well, it's because I'm resting my brush there instead of just touching that other part. These lashes are a little too bougie, although I am going out on a date with my husband, so he'll probably tell me how bougie they are. So the Homegrown shade. And it's just easier when you're right-handed, you don't have to cross over. Normally I would take a smaller brush, but I don't really want to find 2 equivalent brushes at the moment. This will work. Okay, this is like a one dip wonder. Although I think Sydney Grace's Bravo did amazing. I mean, Coastal Scents just doesn't really, it's not on the same level as this Colourpop palette right here. I don't know if the palettes are just better quality than their singles, like they just dump more money into the palettes. I'm assuming they do because, or maybe this is a formula that is specific to Raw Beauty Kristi, like she helped to formulate it. I watched the video, parts of her video a while back when she first launched it. I don't remember her saying anything about the formula. She might have, but that was like a while ago for me. I do apologize. I'm not in the know about that. I think overall, I duped the palette fairly well. Like, I would be happy if I didn't own this palette, but I am very happy that I do own this palette so that, you know, I have this. I really love the packaging. I used to live in Washington when I was a little girl. We moved when I was 4, and so I remember a lot of Washington, and this reminds me of Washington. The big tall trees, the mushrooms, the damp forests. Yeah, we lived in Olympia, Washington, and this reminds me of that. So this for me is nostalgia, and I really, really, really wanted to own the palette, but I didn't. It just goes against everything that I stand for when I buy my single eyeshadows. But there are palettes that, like, you know, you do want to own just for your own personal keepsake reasons, and this is definitely one of them. I might have found myself buying this like when Colourpop launched like their 25 or 30% off sale. I might have purchased the palette just because, even though I know and have demonstrated for the most part that I have all the color story, this is just a really great piece to own for basically the artwork. Very glad. Again, thank you so much. Movie and makeup moment. Let's just add a little titch of fun. So this is Snow Angel. There it is. Okay, Snow Angel. And let me swatch it for you guys. Got a little bit of that like duochrome shifty goodness. And I just want to put that over Malibu. Looks like one of them. Let's decide together. Malibu. Let me swatch it for you. But it might be more blue. Yeah, it's a little bit more blue than I wanted. But that's how I have to wear blues, is like a duochrome type of blue with like a gold shift to it so that it doesn't compete with my blue eyes, but yet there's still blue there. That's how I feel like I need to wear. Let's go ahead and put this one on. I'm just gonna use my finger. And then what I'm hoping, oh yeah, it just brings the other color underneath to life. I'm hoping it kind of marries the colors together so that they look a little more similar, because to me they're just a little bit too different. For a lid shade, that's fairly noticeable. Which I'm well aware that it's pretty hard to dupe a duochrome because you've got like a million different shifts, a million different consistencies that you could go with. You know, there's just so many options out there. So, okay, didn't really look any closer. If anything, it just kind of amplified. But there you have it. So I think I duped it every bit of the way except for those duochromes. I enjoy the Raw Beauty Kristi formula. If that's something that is specific to her, then absolutely loving that formula. And I hope Colourpop negotiates a contract deal with her so they can use it in the future, because that formula is almost in and of itself not dupeable. So you would gravitate towards those shadows anyways. The closest I'm seeing is Sydney Grace though. Sydney Grace is pretty close to it. I still would prefer my single shadows in the future when I dupe palettes. That's what I'm gonna do. So I am gonna turn it over now. All right, there you have it. So I showed you guys some swatches and I showed you guys a tutorial, a look with the Raw Beauty Kristi side. And if you didn't guess, it was this side, and with my other side. I also added some Looxi Beauty, so sorry if that threw you off any. I wanted to just zazz it up just a bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you found this content helpful, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. If I'm your vibe, make sure you subscribe. I think that's all I have for you today. I'm out like sauerkraut! Class dismissed. Can't wait to see you guys in my next video.